That right there is my dog's next meal. We've got 6 chicken leg quarters and 7 frozen fish. Right here we've got my long-coated German Shepherd Lobo. Over here we've got, from left to right, my Lycan Shepherd Ulu. We have 8-month-old Lycan Shepherd Ka-bar, 8-month-old Lycan Shepherd Puukko, and my Blue Bay Shepherd Kurgan. They are merely in the kennel so I can shoot the introduction to this video and distribute the food. This is going to be what we call a pack bong video. I use these to help develop and maintain a healthy pack hierarchy with my dogs. I find this teaches them good coping skills, which then translates over to how they act when they're off leash and encountering other dogs that might not be the friendliest in some of our hiking videos. You can see links to that down below if you're interested. I'm going to pause this a moment while I distribute this sumptuous feast around the yard. I hope you enjoy. Just a moment. Alright, I've distributed the fish and chicken around the yard. We have Lobo there who's already starting. For those who will ask, why is Lobo getting his food first? Well, age has its privileges here, and Lobo's the oldest dog, so I usually give him his food first. Let the feeding commence. That's Kurgan talking to the pup saying, hey, you're not taking one of these pieces until I choose which is mine. Ka-bar trotting around there. Kurgan loves fish. You can see he's already got a couple stacked there. Feed my dogs what's called the BARF diet. BARF is an acronym for biologically appropriate raw foods. It's created by veterinarian Dr. Ian Billinghurst. If you'd like to learn more about that, I've provided several links in the video description, including some links to a couple of very good books written by him I highly recommend. Give your dog a bone and grow your pups with bones. Growling at Ka-bar here, who's coming in. Now that's not aggression, that's healthy canine communication. That's him telling the younger dog not to invade his space while he's eating. It's basically the dogs talking to each other. People often misread that as aggression. It's Puukko right there. As I say in all my videos, I like to touch my dogs when they're eating. Teaches them not to be food aggressive, which is especially important if you have children. As a former animal warden, I can tell you, as somebody used to take a lot of bite reports, that a lot of that type of stuff could be avoided if people just took the proper time to train their dogs. Yeah, that's my 8-month-old Lycan Shepherd Puukko. He's going to be huge, just like Kurgan. Puukko's brother, Ka-bar. Ka-bar is blowing his winter coat right now. Puukko blew his a couple weeks ago. Some of my other dogs are still blowing theirs also. For those who will say, I thought chicken bones were dangerous. That's only cooked bones. Raw bones are perfectly safe for your dogs. Shepherd Ulu. Actually, that was Puukko. This is Ulu. They're all black. I get them confused. She's really blowing her coat right now. You can see I can just pull that stuff right off. Yeah, good girl. Oh. Just telling me thank you. Brushing back so the puppy doesn't get it. Yeah, you got a bunch of stuff coming off of you too, don't you, buddy? For those wondering, where's Magi? Well, she's in the house eating right now. She's starting to come into heat, it looks like. And I don't want the young puppies mounting her and trying to bug her while she's eating, so I gave her a reprieve and she's in the house right now. Puukko's a handsome pup. It's part of the Lycan Shepherd project. He's an F2. Lobo. Now it's okay to feed your dogs frozen food. Canines are predators and also scavengers of opportunity. And so for canines in cold climates like here, it's very common for them to scavenge and eat frozen foods in the colder months. One of the reasons why I like to feed them fish frozen is my dogs all live in the house, and it keeps them from getting full of fish oil and guts, and makes them smell a lot less fishy. And they also seem to enjoy it this way. Look at Ka-bar with that mane up. Again, I like to touch and handle them all when they're eating. Just gets them used to it. It teaches them that you're not a threat or a challenge to their food. Again, I've already gave them the food. I don't need to prove how dominant I am by taking it away from them. The whole idea when you have children is you really want to desensitize your dogs to being touched when eating. And that way they're not going to be overreactive in those situations. Because kids are kids and they often do things they're not supposed to. And so it's always good to bomb-proof your dog from those situations. I've raised 5 kids. All are adults now. Never had one bit by the dogs. I should say bit and aggression. They play as puppies all the time. Again, if you'd like to learn more about feeding your dogs a raw diet, I've provided a whole bunch of links in the video description that'll tell you everything you need to know from vets and other resources. Don't take my word for any of this stuff. I'm just some guy on YouTube. I always recommend you do your research. I do have over 30 years experience breeding, owning, rescuing, and training dogs. I was an animal warden for 2 decades. But again, I don't try to pass myself off as any kind of authority on this. I do have a lot of experience with it, but I always recommend you do your research. I've provided a ton of links in the description that'll help you do that. Make sure you consult those before asking me any raw feeding questions. Chances are they're going to be covered in depth in those links I've provided. What's up, sweetheart? So you're telling me thank you? Those answers will be covered in depth in those links I provided, which is why I provide them. They're going to be able to explain it a lot better than I can in a brief comment. Kurgan and Ka-bar. What's up, buddy? Have the last of the fish. Really wanting to steal one. Lobo says, I'm done, let me in the house. Kurgan showing just how smart he is. Now that he's got one of the last pieces, let's put it up on the stump there to eat. Now what you just saw from Kurgan was not aggression. He didn't hurt Puukko. You would have heard Puukko squeal if he did. He did what's called a muzzle grab. And that's where they grab the muzzle of the subordinate dog and hold it briefly. It's basically Dad telling the youngster, that's mine, back off. Ka-bar's got his piece in the doghouse there. Ulu trying to take it. He said no. He will be more tolerant of Ulu doing that than he would one of the pups, because she's a female, and guys often put up with a lot more from a girl than they will a guy. That's not sexist, that's just reality. I have all kinds of videos of Kurgan doing the same thing, using the stump as a way to isolate his food from the other dogs. Every time I crouch down, Ulu wants to come over and get pet. This is when things get interesting always, when the food starts dwindling down. And again, it's one of the reasons why we do this exercise. helps develop and maintain a healthy pack hierarchy and puts the dogs in situations where they can work that out, and I'm here to oversee it and step in if need be. I find this creates a cohesive pack structure where everybody gets along. We don't have fights. I can feed them all in a group setting like this. And also when we come across unsocialized dogs on my hundreds of videos on the channel, I've got 1,500 plus now, they have good problem solving skills when dealing with those dogs. Now again, don't take my word for this stuff. I'm just some guy on YouTube, but I do have hundreds of videos demonstrating just how well socialized these guys are and how well they do in situations when they come across dogs who aren't. And I attribute some of that to these pack feeding exercises where I do. Nice. Puukko managed to wrangle that from Ka-bar. Now again, that's nobody's fighting there. That's all canine communication. That's the dogs fighting. It's a couple of brothers squabbling over who got the last piece of pie at the dinner table. Look at that beautiful mane that Puukko has. I really think he's going to be big at Kurgan. See, he's telling Ulu no. Kurgan's got the last piece now. Let's see what happens. Lobo waiting to go inside. Ka-bar getting some scraps. Puukko. Come on, Dad, just let me have that fishtail. That's exactly what Puukko did when he stole that piece from Ka-bar. He grabbed the tail and ripped it right out of his mouth. Well, there you go. Another fun, healthy pack feeding. And that's all canine communication. That's how the alpha in the pack represents the reprimands the underlings when he does that muzzle grab like that. It's also the same technique I use when I reprimand my dogs. I'll do the same thing. I'll do a muzzle grab and hold. It's something that they understand and something they do to each other. You see everybody's running around playing now. They've all had a good meal. So again, there you have it. Another one of my pack bong videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell down below. You'll get email notifications when my new videos come out. Again, I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers and say thank you to all those who've been following me along the way. I hope during these trying times when everybody's on lockdown that this maybe gave you a little reprieve from that and brought a smile to your face. Lobo says, oh, people are playing? Let me get back in here. Now that's all play. Kurgan's very vocal when he plays. That's Kurgan and Ulu and Lobo right there, if you're wondering. Good boy. It's Ulu. Watch out for my knees there. Take me out. So again, this is just some pack bonding behavior. They all like to get together and play and roughhouse a little after they eat. Family that plays together stays together, right? Uh-oh, they've all got them now. They all like to team up on the alpha when they're playing. Kurgan is the alpha. And because he's a benevolent benefactor, he tolerates it just fine. The barrel in the kennel back there is where we put the pet waste, and the plastic jug on the ground is my dog's favorite toy. So go figure. They've got all these toys and they love playing with plastic jugs the best. Ka-bar, don't do that to Lobo. Have some respect for your elders. Well, I hope you liked it. That's all. Bye.